Welcome to the Social 7, a conversation on the week's top 7 stories in social media and marketing.
If you were wondering where we were last week, we were both at a little event called Twestival, where our colleague Nick was at Twestival. Speaking of Nick, where is Nick?
Nick is not with us this week, so you're going to have to make do with just the two of us, but we promise...
I know it'll be hard. You'll be able to get through it.
You'll still have fun. We promise. Let's jump right into it.
We'll make it entertaining. All right, so our top 7 story of the week is a mobile update for you. We have a couple happenings in mobile. Yahoo Mobile introduced a new widget platform, while Google Android is now accepting paid applications, which is something that's really attractive for developers because developers now get to set their own pricing, and Google's taking 30% of it, but still it will really bring in the developer community. Now, I don't know if it'll be as easy as the iTunes developer store, just because they don't have that central iTunes that people know and love associated with it, but hopefully it'll increase their 1,000 apps they have now to at least a little bit more. So we'll just stay tuned on that, and we'll keep you guys posted.
Yep. In privacy lawsuit news, because there's plenty of those, Google recently prevailed in what's been called the boring lawsuit, where they were sued by a couple back east who claimed that they violated their privacy by having one of their Street View camera cars drive onto a road labeled private road and take photos of their house, which they allegedly bought because it was in a private location. The judge said no go on it for a number of reasons, and as people pointed out, there were much more detailed photos available on the county records website. You could still see it via satellite imagery on Google Earth, and really it's good because it would have set kind of a dangerous precedent if Google had been sued or successfully sued over this. One important thing though, if you ask nicely, not by suing them, they will remove the photos of your house.
Exactly. You know, that was a pretty boring announcement, I have to admit.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, our number 5 story of the week is ShareThis. This week, ShareThis gave their widget a complete makeover, and so they just made it a little bit more user-friendly, added enhanced functionality, including a new... It's a new service. It's tab-free. It's faster and easier for customers. It has a contact manager. And there's also the option to share your content via your ShareBox account. So definitely check it out. It should be cool.
In more big legal news, because I apparently have all those stories this week.
Yeah, you like the legal announcements, don't you?
The top 4 guys at the Pirate Bay have all been put on trial in Sweden for assisting the infringement of copyright. On the first day of the trial, immediately half the charges were dropped because they didn't think they could make them stick. And it's been a little bit of a circus there. They're camping out there in a giant bus. There's a lot of people. It's a huge, especially in Sweden, it's an unbelievable story. Obviously, lots of people around the web are paying a lot of attention because, again, it sets a very, not necessarily dangerous precedent, but it sets a very big precedent in having a torrent tracker be held responsible for sort of hosting links to files without actually hosting the files. It's also very interesting because the Pirate Bay has a very anarchist nature, sort of in their power structure, and there apparently is no one person in charge. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, and I know there have been daily updates online, so if you want to stay updated, there's a number of sources you can check out. Interesting, very messy case.
Yeah. And in related news, Boxee, the online, not online, but the media center platform, it's open source, it's wonderful, I use it, just lost support for Hulu. One of the great features is it has plugins for almost every online streaming service, so bam, you hook up your computer, your Apple TV, load the software on it, and you can instantly be watching Hulu on your TV. Well, apparently Hulu's content providers didn't like that for some reason or another. There's plenty of speculation going on around it. You can check out the links with this story to see some of the different speculation on it. But they didn't like what was going on, and they said, we don't want Boxee to be able to stream Hulu shows anymore. So it's a big hit, and kind of the sad irony of it is, guess what? It doesn't mean that the people who would be doing it are going to go start watching these shows on TV anymore. They're going to be going on to the Pirate Bay and downloading them. Because anyone who had Boxee running in the beta stage on a computer and Apple TV sure as heck knows how to use BitTorrent.
Well, from a content provider standpoint, it does make sense that they wouldn't want them going directly to the TV just because that's what the TV's for. Obviously, they want you to come watch the programs. The internet just supplements it. But, I mean, you definitely made a really good point. Anyone who used it is probably still going to be able to use it. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. On to our number 2 story of the week. It's Twestival. I know we mentioned it a little bit earlier. Our colleague Nick went to Twestival last week. Apparently he's still there.
I guess. He must be. He got trapped at the 740 Club.
Yeah, I just never came back. But anyways, Twestival, it was sponsored by Mashable. They were the global sponsor of Twestival. And they sent out a tweet on January 8th saying, hey, we're going to plan this event. So the event came together in just over a month. It was a global event that took place in 202 cities around the world. On February 12th, it was a Thursday night, and its goal was to raise money for charity water. And so there were over 1,000 volunteers who hosted events in these 202 cities, and it all came together in about a month. So I think it really shows the global power of Twitter to mobilize the masses and bring communities together, even offline.
Right, and to date, they've raised more than $250,000 for charity water.
Yeah, and they haven't even tagged all of their cities yet. They're still waiting for a third of it.
So it'll be interesting.
It's a good cause.
Finally, coming back, more great examples of the activism power of the internet. The Facebook Terms of Service flag.
Another legal case for you, Alex.
Technically, no one got sued. Of course, as everyone knows at this point, a couple weeks ago, Facebook went and revised their terms of service, making it a little less oriented towards the consumer. As one of my favorite blogs, The Consumerist, they're the ones who brought this up originally, termed it, Facebook, we can do whatever we want with your content forever. Basically, it said that they could hold on to your content and use it forever. Now, they say that it's because they needed to make sure that even if you closed your account, they could leave like your comments on people's walls, on said walls, and didn't have to remove them. Privacy advocates said no, they're trying to control the universe. Back and forth. But the amazing part is, only 3 days after this really hit the big media and people found out about it, Facebook reversed stance and went back to the old terms of service because of the outcry against this. And it's interesting because, you know, when new rollouts to the site weren't received well, they went through with them. But in this case, they heard what their users were saying and rolled back the terms of service.
It is interesting. People definitely took over in this one. You know what I think is really unique about this too, or not even unique really, it's just how many people actually think when you sign up for a service, how many of you actually read the terms and services and think about that long-term thing? Yeah, exactly. And you know, a lot of people who are signing up for Facebook are a lot younger and don't really think about that. They don't really think about the end result, you know, that picture that's supposed to be, what are the long-term effects of that? And so I mean, I think it's definitely good that the people have the control in this situation because a lot of people just really don't think about it.
Yeah, and people absolutely don't really think about what's going to happen to their content and their data, whether, you know, while they're members and after they're members.
And they should. I mean, it is something that people should pay attention to, whether we like it or not. So.
Definitely. Anyways, that is it for this episode of The Social 7. We are so glad to be back. And again, thank you for joining us this week.
Make sure you go on our website and check out our Twist Up pictures, too. We added some photos for you to check out.
You can also check out the Social Shutterbug of the Week, the Viral Video of the Week, and the Tweet of the Week, all at thesocial7.com. Nick will be back next week, and we hope you will, too.
Yes.
Bye.